6 million pounds. To put that in perspective, that's worth over 70 million pounds today. They had actually done it. They were unbelievably rich.
But that celebration, it wasn't going to last long, because the very place that was meant to keep them safe, Leather Slade Farm, would end up being their undoing. It was the single biggest mistake they made, and it was the key that would blow the whole case wide open.
And this, right here, is where the genius plan just started to collapse under the weight of simple, stupid mistakes. One of the guys casually told the train staff not to move for 30 minutes, which accidentally gave the police a perfect 30-mile search radius for their hideout. Then, spooked by planes flying overhead, the whole gang panicked and fled the farm early, leaving behind half-painted trucks and, most famously of all, a Monopoly board they've been playing on using the real stolen money.
I mean, their sloppiness was just astonishing. In their rush to get out, this gang that had planned everything else down to the second completely forgot to wipe the place down. The police walked into a forensic gold mine. 311 fingerprints. They were everywhere. On the Monopoly board, on tabletops, even on a bottle of ketchup.
So, armed with this absolute treasure trove of evidence, the case was handed over to London's elite robbery unit, the Flying Squad, and its famously relentless leader. Detective Chief Superintendent Tommy Butler was the total opposite of Bruce Reynolds. If Reynolds was flashy, Butler was obsessive. He was this quiet, incredibly determined investigator who basically lived for the job. For him, catching the great train robbers wasn't just another case. It became his personal mission.
Even as the police started making arrests, the gang was just dripping with arrogance. This quote from one of the robbers, Charlie Wilson, pretty much sums it up. They were absolutely convinced that without the stolen cash as evidence, the police had nothing. They could not have been more wrong. For Tommy Butler, those fingerprints were all the proof he would ever need. Now, while most of the gang was rounded up pretty quickly and given massive 30-year sentences, a few key players, including the mastermind himself, slipped right through the net. And this kicked off some of the most famous international manhunts of the entire 20th century.
Bruce Reynolds, the mastermind, he lived this lavish life on the run in Mexico and France, just burning through his share of the cash. But after 5 years, the money ran out. Broke, no more options, he quietly slipped back into England, only to be cornered by Tommy Butler himself. Butler's greeting was just chillingly simple. "Hello, Bruce. It's been a long time." And Reynolds' cool reply? "C'est la vie."
But the most infamous fugitive of them all had to be Ronnie Biggs. He wasn't even